A man who spent years blending in as just another suburban dad has finally admitted to being one of Long Island's most notorious serial killers. Rex Heuermann, a 62-year-old former Manhattan architect, stood emotionless in a packed courtroom and pleaded guilty to murdering 7 women and confessed to an 8th killing that terrorized communities for over a decade. The victims were Melissa Barthelemy, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Amber Lynn Costello, Megan Waterman, Sandra Costilla, Jessica Taylor, and Valerie Mack. All were young women, some working as escorts to support their families. Their ages ranged from 20 to 28. Heuermann also admitted to killing Karen Vergata, a mother of 2 from Manhattan, back in 1996. For the families who spent years searching for answers, Wednesday's guilty plea brought a flood of emotions. Maureen Brainerd Barnes's sister Missy spoke outside the courthouse, her voice steady but filled with years of pain finally acknowledged. She said the plea brings solace, a sense of relief. She made it clear the day wasn't about the killer, but about the women whose lives were stolen, their voices, their futures, and the families who never stopped loving them. The investigation into these murders stretches back decades. It exploded into public consciousness in 2010 when police searching for a missing woman named Shannon Gilbert stumbled upon multiple sets of human remains along a desolate stretch of Ocean Parkway near Gilgo Beach, about 45 miles from New York City. Between 2010 and 2011, authorities discovered 11 sets of remains in the area, sparking fears of a serial predator and drawing international media attention. But despite years of work, the case went cold. Leads dried up. Families waited. Hope faded. Then came the breakthrough in 2023. Investigators recovered DNA from a discarded pizza box outside Heuermann's Manhattan office. That DNA matched evidence found on one of the victims. Combined with cell phone data, witness accounts, and digital forensics, it was enough. Heuermann was arrested in July 2023. What investigators found next was chilling. On his computer, they discovered what they called a blueprint for murder. Detailed checklists. Instructions on how to commit the crimes. How to avoid getting caught. In court, Heuermann admitted he strangled all 8 victims. He used burner phones to arrange meetings. He dismembered some of the bodies. He wrapped several in burlap and dumped them in remote areas along Long Island's South Shore. The local district attorney didn't mince words. He said Heuermann walked among us, pretending to be a normal suburban dad, when all along he was obsessively targeting innocent women for death. He identified them, lured them, murdered them, and thought he could get away with it forever. But he was wrong. The police commissioner was even more direct. He said the calm, almost grandfatherly image Heuermann projected since his arrest was a lie and an insult. He called him a sadistic, soulless, murderous monster. Attorney Gloria Allred, representing some of the victims' families, pointed out that many of these women were young mothers just trying to earn money to support their children. They didn't have funds for college or access to decent jobs. They turned to sex work not because they wanted to, but because they felt they had no other choice. And they paid for that desperation with their lives. For Missy, Maureen's sister, the moment was overwhelming. She spoke directly to other families still searching for missing loved ones. She urged them not to give up hope. Even when it feels impossible, even when years pass and silence grows heavy, keep going. Your loved ones matter. They are not forgotten. Answers can come. Then she addressed her sister. She said she made a promise long ago that she would never stop searching for justice. Through every year, every setback, every unanswered question, she carried Maureen with her. And today, that promise was kept. Justice finally found its way. Heuermann's defense attorney said the decision to plead guilty came from Heuermann himself. He wanted to spare both the victims' families and his own family from a lengthy trial. When asked if Heuermann felt remorse, the attorney said he hoped so, and expected him to say something at sentencing. As part of the plea deal, Heuermann will cooperate with the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit. He now faces life in prison. Prosecutors expect him to receive multiple consecutive sentences, including life without parole for several murders, plus an additional 100 years to life for others. Sentencing is set for June 17. Hoyerman's estranged wife asked for privacy. She said her thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families. Her attorney has previously stated that neither she nor their daughter had any knowledge of or involvement in the crimes. This guilty plea comes just 5 months before the trial was set to begin. After decades of stalled leads and heartbreak, investigators acknowledged the critical role the victims' families played in pushing the case forward. The district attorney said they inspired law enforcement. They're the reason investigators do what they do. And today, they were finally able to turn to those families and say they kept their promise to work hard and bring closure. For many, the guilty plea doesn't erase years of pain. But it marks a long-awaited step toward justice in one of Long Island's most notorious cases. 8 women who were targeted, silenced, and discarded finally have their voices heard. And the man who thought he could hide behind a normal life is now exposed for exactly what he is.